game's a stationary game. I don't think it uses any sorts of motion controls at all. So this is an adaptation of Megadimension Neptunia V2, actually. I guess like a VR remake of it, sort of. So it's the same core game as Neptunia V2 with full VR support and a bunch of added VR scenes where you get to hang out with the various Neps. So it's pretty much the same game, enhanced and tweaked. And I heard that some of the actual like RPG side of things is tweaked significantly, and the game is improved for it. I don't know exactly the details, but I saw a few fans saying that, like, yeah, they actually made the RPG more enjoyable to play all the way through. So hey, I guess that's a good thing. I also heard the VR support was only for the VR scenes, so we'll see how this goes. I'm just gonna refill on water, and I'll be back in just a second. I refilled on water. I did it. Aren't NEP games 90% visual novel? Yeah, actually, yes. So I wonder. I wonder how that's gonna go. Might turn off the light for hyper superior tracking. Plus, I don't have a green screen, so hey. Will you play the Canadian NEP game when it comes out on stream? Absolutely. I want to get in contact with those guys, actually. I think it's really sick that there's an NEP game being made in Quebec. I mean, in general, I love the game development scene in Quebec. It's so vibrant. But I think that's really cool. Okay, let me click on that. Make sure the Elgato doesn't fucking die immediately. Who's that one? I didn't play far enough into V2, clearly. Has anyone here played Four Goddesses Online? How is it? I played it. I strongly don't recommend it. Oh, did some of you guys get linked from Zone? Sick. Did Zone raid? I love Zone. Zone's so nice. Go download wakfu.swift. Zone's best work. So I don't know. I don't know if this game actually, again, supports VR. I've heard conflicting things, that only the VR scenes support VR. The whole thing is adapted for VR. I have no clue. Because right now, it's not VR. Right now, as I'm sure you guys can see, it is a flat game. Voice selection. Let's leave that on English, because I know everyone loves the English voices. Oh my god, there are so many options. Credits, comma display. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is probably loud, isn't it? Let me turn the volume down. If the VR event will begin, please press the X button. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear this shit. Starting position cannot be set as the player is outside the play area. Fuck you, I'm not. There are as many worlds as there are games, and as many parallel worlds as there are players. Okay, I'm in a VR scene. You guys fucking lost the fucking screen there? Jesus Christ, why? Oh, because it fucking changed display mode mid-game. Don't worry, I paused the game. I paused the game. That's, you know what? If this game changes display mode repeatedly, that's going to be a problem. I really should just fucking write an email to Elgato and be like, yo, what the hell is up with this?
Either way, glad to see you're taking an interest in this dimension again. The history you create's always fascinating. Take a look. These are the records of the very dimension you saved in the past.
All these screenshots are still in Japanese, or these videos. I mean, they're fine. Doesn't really make a difference, but...
It has been a while. Well, don't sweat it. I've already recorded that history. You'll remember soon enough. Huh? Looks like Eastwar's calling ya. Alright, it's time I head out. Later! Player? Player?
Yeah?
Player! I'm down here!
I see you.
Please, look down here!
Yep. Keep the marker in the center of the screen for a certain period to cause different reactions. Okay. I'm sitting, like, in this couch.
Goodness. You weren't listening to a single word, were you? I will explain it once more, so you better listen carefully this time. This world has been created from parts of your world and our own, weaving together. According to Krar, this sort of world is called the VR dimension. However, it seems there is still much she does not understand, as she was unable to explain anything further. This room is influenced by both of our worlds, but it seems the effects of your world are much stronger. And, for that reason, we have decided to simply refer to it as the Player's Room. This room may be accessed using a gate, but the VR dimension's coordinates are unstable. I'll be coming by periodically to adjust them. Still, it's almost like a dream that we are able to interact with the player like this. We have been made aware of your existence long ago, but we could not find a way to speak with you directly. That is why, until recently, we've only communicated with you through the Thank You for Playing corner. Were you aware?
I see.
I apologize.
It's meta.
I have veered off topic.
They're retroactively making that more meta.
Explain the various commands that can be executed within the player room. First, about this object which I received from Krar. It is the historical record.
Oh, you can move the subtitles with the right stick. That's such a weird feature.
Please play it if you desire.
So that should be Megadimension Neptunia
The
V2.
goddesses of the four nations will come to visit this player room eventually. Although, they will not unexpectedly visit you. You will be able to welcome them in at a more convenient time using this object.
So that's the VR scenes, yeah.
It seems Neptune and the others have things they wish to discuss with you, and I would be quite pleased if you could meet with them. This concludes my explanation of the player room. Did you understand it?
Oh, literally just shake your head. Okay, cool. That's easy to use.
I am glad. If you ever need a more detailed explanation, do not hesitate to let me know. Things may become more noisy on occasion, but I hope we can get along from now on.
So now is this gonna change the fucking... Did that just change? Okay, that transition worked. But it does appear to actually be changing the display type. Hey, Osimani. Okay, so we got memories, gameplay, and VR visits. What's with memories again? Okay, pictures. Okay, this is all just your history and shit. Don't need that. Okay, well, let's see if the gameplay supports VR, because I've heard it may not. So this is just a fucking 2D scene right now. And this is just Neptunia V2, straight up.
give me an answer. Anyone, please. Save me.
Okay, so... If you guys aren't familiar, Neptunia V2 is basically made up of like 3 smaller games. This is the first of the 3. So just
protect and rule above each nation.
So just know
The nation where CPU Purple Heart rules, Planetoon. The nation where CPU Blackheart rules, Last Station. The nation where CPU Whiteheart rules, the Wii. The nation where CPU...
Yeah, we did a video on the Best Friends channel of this game. So forgive me if I kind of cut through this a little bit.
But thanks to the efforts of the 4 CPU... However, as they...
Taking a nap in the warmth of the... Although, I kind of feel like I...
Do you think Senran Kagura devs should pull Western fans on favorite characters so we don't get Yumi every time? We'll still get Yumi. Japan will still outvote the West.
I'm over there.
What console is Neptune again? She's like a cancelled Sega console.
Spooky back alley, shrouded in darkness.
Someone, save me!
Huh? Is that a voice?
Someone, anyone!
Hello? Someone? That's so weird. I could have sworn I heard it coming from around... Wait. But who even makes this? It's got a white body, a swirl mark. Even a sophisticated game sommelier like myself has never seen anything like this. Well, I don't see anyone around here, so I guess I'll just deposit this at the Basilicom for safekeeping. Yeah. Hey, Nepgear! Look up.
Okay, I'm gonna cut through this because I've already seen this a bunch, like when I played through it the first time. They talk to each other a bunch, and they go to a different world.
The seat work in...
Did I ever finish this game? No, I didn't finish the entire game. And then it plays the opening for the first game, which is sick. That's probably my favorite thing about this game, was how it was made up of 3 smaller games, and it wasn't just one large game. I always thought that was a fucking tight idea. Each one has a new opening, by the way. And its own little title screen thing. Like, that's easily the coolest thing about this game. And they've each got like kind of different tones and themes and stuff. Yeah, whatever company it is that does all the openings for the Idea Factory games, they do a good job every time. I don't know if they're done internally or what.
Neptune? Neptune? Neptune, please!
So now we're in that world. And we meet Uzume really soon.
Here! Boing!
And this is Neptunia V2. Let me just confirm this. Get my VR set back on. Yep. This is no. This does not have VR support here. In the VR headset, you're just looking at the if you've never seen it, the cinematic view, which is basically like you're in kind of a movie theater kind of thing. Yeah, this is some light-ass VR support. I gotta say, that's real disappointing. Yo, you're not wrong when you say this is not gonna be a long stream. Because otherwise, this is just...
Let's start the tutorial.
This is just
battle,
Neptunia
everyone.
V2 again.
I've been waiting.
Is this a full price purchase even if you own the original game? Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'll nip you all up. Nip you up. It's my turn.
Yeah, I'm hoping to stream the Good Life demo and Birth by Sleep tomorrow, both of those. Probably Birth by Sleep at the scheduled time and the Good Life demo later in the evening.
See? I can do it if I try. Cha-la-la-la-la-la-la. Level up. Woo!
I actually skipped the scene. I've read all this before.
Jump! Like a kangaroo. Boing! Like a kangaroo. Jump! Boing! Jump! Boing! Like a bunny. Boing! Jump! Boing! Ooh.
This is where you meet Uzume. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna... I don't think we're gonna be playing this much.
Boing! Boing! Like a kangaroo. Boing! Jump! Boing!
Yeah, you know what? This is fine. I think we've gotten a good idea of what the core game is here. Let's go back to the VR visits. Because even though this is an enhanced version of Megadimension Neptunia V2, I hear the gameplay is enhanced. Did you just jump back in where you were, by the way? I'd actually like to see that. Or does it put us back at the last load? Wow, okay. Pops you back in right there. That's actually kind of cool. Didn't know that. That's a solid feature. Like, even though this is supposed to be an enhanced version of the game, like, I would almost say, like, just buy Neptunia V2. You know what I mean? Like, how's the Elgato gonna like this? No, I'm super in the play area.
Are you the player?
Yep. Of course I went for Noir. Come on, guys.
We haven't actually met. My name's Noir, the goddess of last station. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry to drop in like this. I'd been wanting to meet you, so I thought I'd just come over. Am I bothering you?
Definitely not.
That's great! I was worried you might be a little too busy for me.
Come sit here,
This
please.
room looks pretty nice, but I think it could use a personal touch. I'd like to organize it a little bit. Hey! If it's okay with you, could I clean up around here when I come and visit? That's great news! Just leave it to me! But don't leave everything in a big mess just because you'll know I'll clean it up, okay? I'll have to tell the others that too. Especially Neptune. Anyway, I usually spend a lot of time hanging out at my friends' houses. They like to leave their games and manga lying around, and I always end up helping them clean up their stuff.
It's like Matt.
And it's not like I'm a bossy
Matt
lady
leaves
or
fucking
some
discs
kind of clean
everywhere.
freak, you
I
know.
have to put the discs in their boxes.
I
It's
just don't
bananas. He
really
must
like
have
messy
like
rooms.
100 loose discs at any given time in his house. Apartment.
I have
It's so
lots of
annoying.
friends,
I
so
can't
it's
deal.
difficult to keep up with them all. Was that a little too much? I know that you're able to interact with other dimensions, so you probably know a little bit about me, don't you? You know, it is true that I visit my friends like Neptune pretty regularly. But also, I think it's difficult to label these relationships so one-sidedly. We're all goddesses, and we're friends, but we're rivals too. And, well, it's not like we don't get along.
Man, this is something, I think I've talked about this in every Neptunia video we've done. This is something that the Neptunia series struggles with, where every fucking entry, they always feel the need to, like, make sure we know how their relationships are, and just reinforce all the stuff we learned in the first game
Realizing this is the
for like a
first time
year.
I've been in the room of someone who isn't one of the goddesses. It's probably just making me nervous. Huh? What's up? Why are you staring? It's just gonna make me feel worse. Hey, can we turn on the AC or something? Anyway, there's a lot of stuff I want us to talk about next time. I decided I'm gonna come over a little more often, so you'd better be ready. I mean, if that's all right with you, of course. I'd be really happy if you let me visit again. But for now, I'm just glad I got to finally meet you. That said, I'm gonna get going. Eastwar told us to be careful since maintaining the gate coordinates can be tricky. See you around!
Bye. Come back, I guess. Well, that's, let's see if there's a second one with Noir. No, not yet. I guess we can do a second one real quick and see if she tells us about how she likes playing video games and how she feels about the other characters. Oh, I forgot to mention, yes, shoutouts to Idea Factory for supplying me with a review code for this game. I see people telling me to refund it. I cannot refund it.
Hello there. My name
But I also
is
don't want to,
and I
and I
am
do
the goddess
appreciate
of
Idea
Lima.
Factory sending me review codes.
I have introduced myself, but I believe that you already know who I am. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it is true that you possess the power of interdimensional interaction.
No, she came in without shoes.
I suppose I am not surprised. Upon seeing your face,
I guess Noir didn't
I
have shoes
thought
either.
that this
She had
is
stockings
not the
on.
First time that we have met.
She's not even wearing
I must
socks.
admit,
Unless those are like
feels
leggings that
strange.
have those patterns on them.
Oh my. Do you happen to feel embarrassed?
You know, if she was like more in your face, then like I think that would play better. But she's not. She's like standing 6 feet away, so.
Please forgive me. I have yet to explain information that is pertinent to our current situation. Eastwar had informed me somewhat of your identity and the special role you have here. I was told that your existence is abnormal and that you hold the unique power to interact with alternate dimensions. However, now that we have actually made contact, I have to say, I had quite a different image of you in my head. I am surprised and relieved. You have such lovely consoles. This is the perfect environment for anyone to indulge in the wonderful world of gaming. Oh, I apologize. Instincts were kicking in, as it were. It is occasionally embarrassing, but it is truly work-related. Whenever I visit someone's room, I habitually peruse their gaming setup. I understand that this was my first time meeting you, but was it rude of me to look through your personal game collection? Moving forward, I will be more sensitive. Even if there were loose wires or a lack of displays, I will not exercise judgment. But I feel this is a very nice room you have. I have taken a liking to it, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, is it time already? I did happen to drop in suddenly. I suppose I should be leaving now. Otherwise, I might just overstay my welcome. Okay then, I will be taking my leave now, player.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Take care.
I must
Don't
say,
let the VR door
today
hit
was
you
a
on the way out.
wonderful first meeting. I do hope we will interact much more from now on.
I don't know about that. I gotta say, even though I got a review code for this game, and I appreciate that a lot, I think I would have almost preferred if this game had been like a $20 thing. Oh, fuck. The resolution changed. Of course the resolution changed. Don't worry, nothing happened. I'm sorry, guys. Wasn't paying attention to that. I would actually have preferred this had been like a smaller $20, $30 game that was just the VR bits instead of a $60 VR bits tacked on to minor improvements on Neptunia V2. How long was that black screen portion there? Was that the entire VIR section? Sorry, I didn't check that. Oh, you saw everything up until she went through the portal? Okay, cool. Thank goodness. It just went back to the menu after that. So, yeah, I gotta say, I think I would have preferred if this was strictly those VR sections rather than stapling it to a moderately improved, nominally improved Neptunia V2. Like, okay, if the Neptunia V2 portion supported VR through the entirety of it, then I would probably have a different opinion. You know, if you could tilt your head around and look around the environments in 3D while you're doing shit. For the visual novel portions, probably set them up in some sort of theater-like environment or have them like project in some creative way in the environment that you're in. That would be neat. But being that Neptunia V2, that portion is a flat game, I don't know how appealing this is. Even though I've heard it's like quite improved over the original version, it seems to me like this is kind of for hardcore Neptunia fans only. And even then, odds are you've probably played Neptunia V2 already. So like this, you know, even if I was a fan of Neptunia, it seems, as far as I can see from trying to select a second event for Noir, and let me check a second event for VIR. Yeah, we only have one event for each of them right now. You have to play through Neptunia V2 to unlock more events for the characters. And like, even if you are a big fan of the Neptunia series, you have to be a hell of a fan to want to replay through the game. You know, just to unlock some VR sequences. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, shout outs to Idea Factory for supplying the review code, but it's hard to recommend this. If you're a big Neptunia fan and you've got a VR headset and you haven't played Neptunia V2, I guess this is the game for you, because you'll get the better version of Neptunia V2, and you'll get whatever VR stuff is added on, which is just the room. However, if you've already played Neptunia V2, yeah, you know, it seems to me like you've got to be the cream of the crop of Neptunia fans to get much of anything out of this. So, little hard to recommend this one, especially seeing as Neptunia V2 has reduced in price pretty dramatically. I was gonna check the price in the store, but I can't because I already own it. Let me check on the PSN store. Megadimension Neptunia V2. Actually, Megadimension Neptunia V2 is still $53 in Canada, which might be... Oh, it's on sale for $21 right now, actually. Actually, $16 if you have PS Plus, and that's Canadian. So if you're in the US, you can get Neptunia V2 for probably like $12 right now. Versus this game... I'm not actually sure when this game comes out. Is it this week? Did it just come out? I think it just came out this Tuesday. I got the review code a few weeks ago, but I think it just came out this Tuesday. Yeah, on Amazon.ca, you can buy this game for $80 Canadian. In the US, that'd be $60. Or you can get Megadimension Neptunia VII, V2, sorry, for $44, so about half the price. So I don't know. I would pretty strictly say stick to V2 if you've already played V2. And if you're a real big Neptunia fan who hasn't played V2 and does have a VR headset, this is probably the one for you. Alternatively, if you're a real big Neptunia fan and you haven't played V2 yet, even if you don't have a VR headset, this might still be the one for you because it's a better version of V2 depending on your thresholds of spending money. Oh, Red Animator says this comes out May 8th, so there we are. Yeah, let me Google what the changes are. Neptunia VIIR, oh my god, I can't type. Changes. Yeah, someone's got a good list here. It looks like 7, yeah, but it's V2, as in Victory 2. Let's see. Everything that has changed. This is just a guy on Reddit who compiled this back when it came out in Japan 7 months ago. Let's see. VR mode. Graphics got better, especially in the lighting department. Poly count on character models was increased. You can now sprint. That's an improvement. Characters have no animation for sprinting, but you move at double speed, which is helpful. Yeah, movement circle back in combat, which is cool. Counter mechanic. Upon activating, your turn ends, but if you're attacked, you will use a counter skill on the enemy instead of taking damage, which he says is mechanically currently ridiculously overpowered and destroys game balance. If you cancel your HDD transformation, you get a huge heal. Apparently, this is overpowered and breaks game balance as well, according to him. Combo attacks are now selected before each turn on a menu, which we saw. Combo attacks use up to 2 to 4 AP. There's a couple nominal ones here that I can't read a lot of. Defending costs no AP and ends your turn, so you don't need to devote resources to that every turn anymore. There's a lot. This is actually a pretty big list. Let me see if there's any like meaningful stuff that jumps out. A bunch of new songs. New song for the true ending last boss fight, which is probably a good thing. DLC characters are gone. It's true, this game doesn't have like a ton of DLC stuff. In fact, this game has no DLC stuff, which is unusual. Most Neptunia games have a ton of VR stuff. DLC stuff. I'm confusing my acronyms. You can now sell items anywhere. New CG when you first meet the last boss. You can have like 1,000 items. A bunch of new objectives. You can jump on top of stuff. Less invisible walls, which is fun. Someone says no New Game Plus, which is odd because there was New Game Plus in the first one. Game is capped at 30 FPS. He says due to VR, but that's unclear to me because like VR games don't run at 30. Not even on PlayStation they don't. They run at minimum 90. So like on PlayStation they'll do 45 and double it up with frame interpolation. But he says the core game Neptunia V2 is capped at 30, unlike how Neptunia V2 was before, where it was uncapped. I mean, it wasn't like a rock solid 60 or anything, but it was uncapped. Your party gets fully healed at the end of every battle. There's an autosave feature, which is awesome. I think that was what we saw earlier, where we were able to resume pretty instantly. Yeah, and easier to get true ending as well. I don't know what the requirements are for that. Usually you have to grind out a bunch of shit. So yeah, it seems like they made the game a lot easier on the whole, and improved a bunch of little things here and there. But I don't know, considering Neptunia V2 is half the price, it's hard to recommend. Unless you haven't played Neptunia V2 and you're a huge Neptunia fan. Maybe you didn't have a PS4 at the time. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this for most people. But for you out there, this is for you. Neptunia fan who didn't play Neptunia V2, doesn't mind spending double the money on this version, and who has a VR headset. This one's for you. Yeah. What do you recommend to buy on the sale going on right now? We can do that. We can pad out this. Oh, the trophy list is different? Is that? Let's check out the trophy list. I didn't get a trophy, did I? So I'm not stuck with it. Oh, it's not syncing right now. Someone asked what I thought was good on the sale. So let's check out this Golden Week sale, which is thematically appropriate. This is not going to age well if you're watching this a year down the line. This is not going to age well at all. What's good on here? These are Canadian prices, so bear that in mind. Persona's good. Naruto bundle's good. Monster Hunter's good. I don't know if this is worth my time to do. Cyber Sleuth is finally on sale. It's almost 50% off. Exist Archive's alright. God Eater 2 is fucking great. Go play that. Nier's amazing. Just go play Nier, man. You haven't played Nier yet? Go get that. Go buy this game. Go get that shit. Persona's 55% off. What the hecky? Go get that. Utawara Ramono, 50% off. Those are good. Dot Hack's finally on sale as well, 40%. That's nice, actually. Royal Edition for 40 bucks. That's good. That came out just recently. That's half price for Canada, by the way, so... Oh, the $116 Persona was the Canadian price for the Persona and all DLC bundle. Don't buy Earth's Dawn on PSN. Unless you don't have a Vita. Or, sorry, a Switch. This game's $5 on the Switch, regular price. If you have a Switch, don't buy this game on PSN. It is fun, but get it on your Switch. Res Infinite's like 70% off or some shit. I can't see the price because I've already purchased it. That thing is worth your time. It's amazing. Yakuza, half price, get that. That's good. Romancing Saga's great. Not a deep sale, but it's great. DMC4, no excuses. Yeah, Knack, right. You can't see the price because I purchased it. But if I'm not mistaken, Knack is like $3 right now. Knack is incredibly cheap right now. So if you got like $3 to spare, it is 90% off or whatever brings it down to $3. It is ridiculous cheap. That for me was the highlight of the sale when I saw the prices. So go get your $3 Knack, your $8 Guilty Gear. $8 Guilty Gear is good actually. For Revelator, on top of it, that's actually really great. Although I think Revelator, if you want to have all the content, you do need to buy a couple DLC characters. Yeah, so... oh wait, no, this is System Voices. Maybe I'm confusing it with the original release. Playable characters. So yeah, Dizzy's $8. Jam is maybe included. I can't tell. I can't tell the order. But there's a couple characters you're going to be missing. But for $8, you get the core game. You're not bad. It needs Rev 2. Isn't Rev 2 the patch for it, though? Revelator Rev 2? Like, it's the free patch? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nier DLC. Get that shit if you haven't got that. Hey, if you've been waiting to play the Nier DLC, it's half off. That's a good time. Strider. Yeah, Strider, I think, is also down to like $3 or $4 or something. That's a really good game. It was made by Double Helix. Last game they made before they got bought by Amazon. They haven't put out a game in a while. They were working on Breakaway, which recently got canceled. But me and Wooly and Matt got flown out to play that at one point. And Breakaway was really good. It was really good. It had branding and visibility problems. Like, nobody was interested in it, and I can't blame them. It looked kind of bland. But the gameplay was really fun. I'm excited to see what they work on after that. But Strider's really good for the... I mean, it's really good at normal price, but I think it's down to like $3, $4, $5 right now. So, whatever. And you can buy Monster Hunter Gestures. Yeah, there's some decent stuff on sale. There's a bunch of Vita stuff and PS3 stuff on sale too, but I can only see this shit on the PS4 one, which is where we're at right now. So yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's Neptunia V2R. Again, big shout outs to Idea Factory. I super appreciate them sending review codes, but I don't think this one's a winner. I struggle to recommend it. And if you're coming at it like I was, where I was like, okay, I've already played V2, I'm purely in it for the VR, I think this was a really disappointing prospect. The game box, let me remind myself what the game box says. So, okay, so PlayStation VR games, usually they have like a little strip under the PS4 thing at the top, and it says PlayStation VR, and then next to it, it says what category it is, and normally it would say game. Neptunia says PlayStation VR, and then it says mode included. So it is clearly labeled that it's not like the full game, but mode included in this case is pretty disappointing support, because there's just not much there. And, you know, again, as someone who's already played V2, like, I didn't finish V2, I didn't finish all of it, but I played it a not inconsiderable amount. It's disappointing that I would have to replay through just to unlock more VR stuff. Like, if I could just go in and do all the VR stuff, maybe there would be something for me, but, yeah. 49283 in the chat is saying that, yeah, right now in the US, Neptunia V2 on for PS Plus users on PSN is $11.99. So that I think is ultimately a better prospect. And again, if you're coming at this from a VR perspective, I don't think this is worth your time at all. Even if you're watching this in the far-flung future and it's on sale, if you want to buy it because you want an anime VR thing, this is not what you want. This is for people who want to play Neptunia V2. If you want to play Neptunia V2, this is the game for you. If you want to play anything VR, this is so not the game for you. So, yeah. It's a bit of a bummer note, but I think that's where we're going to wrap up the stream for tonight. I'm going to be on again tomorrow at noon for... What game? What game are we playing? We're playing Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, of course. Which maybe we'll finish. We might get there. So, Irashi asks, do you need PSVR for those sections of the game? I'm under the impression that yes, you do need PSVR for those sections. I don't believe that it's playable otherwise. PlayStation Japan just uploaded a new VR trailer. Did they? I'll check that out right after this stream, actually. Whenever there's like a new like sizzle reel for VR games, there's almost always like 2 or 3 new VR games like tucked in there. They just hadn't been announced yet. So yeah. Where do I put in an official request to play Gregory Horror Show? I'll Google it. I Googled it. Consider it Googled. I'll check it out right after this stream. So yeah, you know what? 49283 again in the chat. I actually agree with what he's saying here. He poses, just make a Japan account and download Fate Grand Order VR. Yeah, it is similar. You know, on the one hand, I do think there's probably like a solid 2 hours of VR scenes in this game, but I don't know if it's worth having to play through V2 again if you haven't already played it once. So, if you have already played it once, so this is strictly for people who want Neptunia V2. Anyway, I'm repeating myself at this point. I'll be back on tomorrow at noon. We're gonna play Birth by Sleep. We might finish up Aqua's story. I don't know what is left of the game after that besides the secret bosses, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, at some point, I think tomorrow night, I think I'm gonna take a minute after that, and then sometime later in the night, we're gonna stream the Good Life demo that came out. If you're not familiar, Swery is running a Kickstarter campaign right now for his game, The Good Life. I recommend you check it out. It looks really good. It's like a miniature Deadly Premonition in a British town. Actually, I say miniature, but he said the scale is like probably comparable at the end of the day. So it's like Deadly Premonition, but in a British town. It's really cool. There's 9 days left now, I believe. It needs more money, and it can totally make it. Like, games have had bigger comebacks than this. Indivisible. And you remember Indivisible in its last 5 days? How much fucking money got donated to it? Jesus Christ. Like, that one pulled it back from the brink. The Good Life can totally still make it, but, you know, check that shit out if you're interested. It looks really cool. And it's by Swery, so I'm sure it'll be a good time. They recently, today, released the prototype. It's publicly available now. You can just go play that shit. Of course, it's not polished. It wasn't really meant for public consumption, but, you know, I guess push come to shove, they needed to do something to try to get people to be interested. So the prototype is out. It does include bugs, which I'm sure the final game will include too, being that it's a Swery game. Actually, D4 was really polished. It was really just Deadly Premonition that was fucked. But yeah, go check that out. And if you've already backed it already, go throw an extra $1 in. Just an extra one. It'll make a difference. If everyone who already backed it threw an extra $1 in, it'd add up a little bit. Just a little. But they need everything at this point, so I'm going to go put an extra $1 in. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stream it tomorrow. Yeah, Brett Assassin says yell at Matt to do a video on it. I texted him the moment I saw it, and he freaked out a little bit on the phone. He was like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" So I think he's gonna do a video on it on the Best Friends channel, but I don't know exactly what is. That's for him to determine. You know, it's that's his life, not mine. So he'll do something there. Yeah, cool. Anyway, shout outs tonight to. Let me just refresh this thing. To Person House Inc., Gimpy 2143, Your Hill, Split Voltage, Saras, and JJ King 3647 for their subscriptions. I super appreciate it, guys. As you know, this is between that and YouTube views. It's basically keeping me with food on the table. I mean, my girlfriend also has a great job, so that helps. But it helps me pay my half of the bills. So I'm not a fucking drag on her. Which I'm not. I make enough that I'm fine. Thank God I live in Quebec. If I lived in like Seattle or New York or some shit, I wouldn't be able to sustain myself. I don't know how people do that. I don't know how people sustain themselves in expensive American cities. It's fucking nuts, man. Anyway. Yo, Happy Carl, check out the comeback that Indivisible did on they were on Indiegogo, I think, not Kickstarter. But check out how amazing that comeback was, actually. It's totally possible to do a comeback like that for The Good Life, and The Good Life needs less than that, actually. So hey, yeah. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. I super appreciate everything, and thanks for tuning in. I hope Rick and Morty was a good time at least. Again, sorry to end on a bit of a bummer note with Neptunia VIIR, but I guess that's just what it is. It occurred to me at some point during the video that it might just be pronounced VR, as in VII. You should pronounce that as V, maybe, because Japan, maybe? I don't know. It's possible, so. Thank you guys all for the bits, by the way. I'm seeing those come in. I appreciate it. Whenever I talk about how destitute I am and how making money and shit, I just want to be clear, that's like not a prompt to donate. I do appreciate it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not trying to do it to prompt anything, so thank you. I do hope that's coming from the right place, and I'm not guilt-tripping anyone, because that's not the intent, so. Yeah. By the way, one last little tidbit, because people keep asking this every now and again. I'm still playing Chain of Memories, yes. Riku just hit level 93. He's almost there. I'm almost done grinding Riku to 99. It's the worst. It is the worst thing. Who thought that trophy was a good idea? Who thought that was a good idea? That trophy could have been grind Riku to level 50, and it would have been an achievement. But getting him to level 99? What the fuck were you thinking? What were you actually thinking? Yeah, but I'm almost done with that one. That's one of those achievements or trophies that I would say is actually bad trophy design. That is a thing. You can design a trophy badly, and it hampers enjoyment for people who give a shit about trophies, so don't design your trophies badly. Design them gooder. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they removed the leveling trophies in Birth by Sleep. Dude, if in Birth by Sleep, if it was also level Terra, Aqua, and Ventus to 99, just unbelievable. Fucking unbelievable. That would have been the worst. Bread Assassin says he thinks Stream Drop Distance only requires Sora and Riku to hit a combined level of 99, which I hope so. Cause fuck. I don't want to deal with leveling both of them to 99 again. It wasn't that bad in Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 with just one character and like a lot of post-game grind necessary to make Ultima Weapon and some of that late stuff. Like, you inevitably ended up in the mid-90s just by getting the Ultima Weapon and stuff like that. So, that was fine in Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. But in Chain of Memories, it's just been a fucking nightmare. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'm off. Thanks, Salt Pigu, by the way. I saw that. I appreciate it. I'm going to have a good night, and I hope you'll have a good night, too. So, take care of yourselves. Sleep tight, guys. And I'll see you later.